Good morning, traders. Welcome to our daily webinar. To all the viewers from YouTube and elsewhere, thank you for being here. I'm still waiting for you guys. Today's the last day, and I'm still waiting to see all of you guys go make a comment on the videos that we post, which means we have 47 people in the room. Now, I haven't seen 47 comments on any one of the videos. I hope this weekend you can take 5 minutes off of your time. We have given you five days, more than 5 hours twice daily. So I hope more than an hour and a half twice daily. I hope you can take 5 minutes to go watch those videos again. You need to watch them again, especially if you're not in my group. And if you're in my group too, you can leave your comments, click the like, and share it with someone. You can share it on any social platform you're on. Somebody will see it. So all I'm asking you for is 5 minutes of your time. It will take you less than 5 minutes. It will take you a minute to click share, like, and comment on any one of the videos. So if you want to share, like, and comment on all 5, that's 5 minutes. I hope you can do that, right? Because you will help someone. You will help someone who haven't seen it to probably see it. Once there's a lot of, if everybody goes and like and share at the same time, then what happens is the YouTube search engine will start sharing it more to other people, create more impression, and more people will get access to it. So like you, they might find it interesting and might learn something. Thank you for that 5 minutes of your time. Let's go. Let's start. So as usual, we're going to start with the trades we are in, and then from there, we're going to go. Right? Let's go. We're recording? Yeah, the record is already on. Let's go. So yesterday, I told you, like magic, that this is going to go up. The chances are it's going to stop here, and it's going to come right back down. And this is where you know you can't guess this stuff. This stuff is too hard to guess. Right? If you were there, or if you weren't in yesterday's afternoon when I put that, if you didn't see that, well, if you weren't there, you wouldn't see it. Sorry. If you weren't in the New York webinar, you wouldn't see. But this arrow will tell you what we meant. Is we're looking for a flat here. 1, 2, 3. It will make a flat, and it will come right back down. So if you're telling me you don't believe this wave analysis work, you need to take a snapshot of this, blow it up, paste it in front of your computer where you can see it every day. So you would know that you can't guess this stuff. This is hard to guess because these are known patterns. We have seen this like a million times. We know how this market behaved because we have seen the patterns like this behave like that in the past. And the probability of this happening was 9 out of 10. So it did 9 out of 10 what we expected to do. It made a flat in the middle. And you bought it, you should close it once it gets to the top there, or put it to break even. The worst case could have happened to you is you got break even out of that trade. If you're really good, you would do what we tell you to do. Put it here, watch it, start to pull back, close the trade. Right? Go on. Well, we are still in the consolidation. Nothing has changed. We're still in that consolidation, except we're coming down deeper into the consolidation now. I'll take this off. That's an aggressive buy. That is off now. The deeper this comes into the consolidation, the more you get a change of the pattern, right? So originally we were expecting this to go up. This was a sharp impulse. We actually bought this. We bought this. And then we looked at this coming down and we were like, you know what? This should go up. But now it's becoming more complicated. It's becoming a bigger corrective structure. And the lower they come into this here, the less the probability of them going up. It could still go back up like this, but this would be a flat now. And if you make a flat like that, you're likely going to come back here and you would still be in this correction. We'll still be in that correction. It's just another flat within the correction. And you will end up coming lower to this. So you're conforming the downside more too, right? Because this would have to come back here and then go back up there and then drop. It will just be a much bigger, complex flat. That is all. The corrections can take a very, very long time. Remember what I said, you're looking at 2 axes. You're looking at the time axis and you're looking at the price action, right? So the time axis is where you calculate when you're looking at corrections, how long it can take, and it can take really long. But what you're saying is that once that is finished, the price axis is what comes into play. And that is why we're looking for that. First for the upside and then for the downside. See, this is basic knowledge. This is not you're guessing your way. This is understanding patterns, understanding how they behave. And then from a point of knowledge, how you're going to trade it. So let's come here. We're not looking for any sellers yet. If you had got a flag at the top there, it would have been a good sell, but you have a flag here. You're getting a flag at the bottom of this whole flat. Now, we know this made flags and went down and went down and went down. So the chances are this might drop more. I don't think they're going to drop through the bottom. It could, That would be a running flat in the making, right? Because if this comes here and go back here, we'll get a running flat, and then we'll get the next move done, and then we'll get the up move. But do you want to take the risk of assuming that that would be a running flat? Because where would your stop be? You have to put an entry here, and you have to put a stop here, because this could tag you and still stay here for a while, right? Or it could tag you and go back here and still drop. So any stop here would mean you're literally going to lose that trade. So you have to keep a stop here to be sure you're still within the trade, right? This would be your risk. And all this thing has to do is, even if it breaks the low, is come here. Even if it breaks the low, that's not a good risk to reward trade. So although you know that it's going to go, you just let it go, because that is not a trade you want. So we're going to take this off, and we'll just leave this to go, because that is not a good trade, right? Not because you see it going, you know it's going to go, you want it. And it might drop a little fast. Don't let that confuse you, because every time you see trades like that, you say, hell, I should have taken it. Look how fast the drop I would have made. No, you shouldn't, because 9 out of 10 of those will not go fast, and they will not break the low, right? It's not that you're expecting this one to specifically drop and break the low. 9 out of 10 of them will not do that. They will tag you here and pull you back to the top, right? Or they might tag you here and go straight back to the top here. So you don't want that to happen to you. And because of that, you're going to say, okay, no, I'm not going to do that, and let go. Keep all the questions for after the webinar. We'll answer them. So again, we have this up. I still think this is a flat in the middle there. If I'm wrong about that, this is the top. We got this, we're getting this. We have to get one more here, and then we will have to get one more down. Now, this down one is we will definitely sell that, because this might just come to the bottom here, which is a good trade, go back up to the top and then drop, or it could drop through the bottom here if we're wrong about this pattern. So let's say this pattern is, let me take out everything and give you all the versions of what we're going to look at, right? So I'm going to remove everything here. Good. So if you're looking at this, you're thinking, well, what is the pattern? You can do 2 things. You can put a line like this and assume that this is all the correction and this is going down. That means you're going to have a big flat here. You're going to go back there, make that flat and drop, if we're right for that. I don't think it's doing that. And that is where people who trade patterns might get confused. I think this is a flat of its own here. That was the whole theory we started with. This is 1, that is 2, this is 3. So if you make another one here, you just make this bigger coming back here, right? So you make a move, you get a flat, you make a move, you get a flat, you make another move, right? You end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the WXYXZ pattern. And then this will still have to go back up for this one and then come down. So we have 2 options, right? Based on everything we know about wave analysis, we have 2 options. It's going to come here and go back and then drop, or it's going to drop totally. What's the key thing here? It is going to drop. Whether it's going to drop and go back up, or it's going to drop and go down. So what you do is you wait for the drop. You let this finish doing what it's doing. If we get a trade for the buy, we'll take it, because the up move is big. If we get a buy set up here, or if it comes here and give us a buy set up here, we'll take that trade. But the trade you definitely want is when it starts to drop. You want that trade. We'll take that trade for sure, because that trade is either going to break this low, or it's going to break this low and go back up. We'll take the buy if we get it, because if it breaks this low, it's total upside. If it doesn't break the low and come here, it's coming to retest this top, and then it's going to drop again. See, that's how you take something that is complex, you break it up and you look at each piece for simple patterns. All in all, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's all you need to know. But a lot of 1, 2, smaller 1, 2, 3s in the middle. So you're taking a lot of 1, 2, 3s and you're fitting them together like, I don't know, Lego, for example, and you're making something out of it. Eventually, you get one bigger pattern that is still 1, 2, 3. So what we're going to do here, we're going to put a line like this, and we're going to wait for the up move. Let this do what it has to do. Ignore it totally. We'll take off this because we're waiting for the setup. We don't have any setup. Euro. Good. There's a reason we put the sell under the low. If it drops, it goes. It's consolidating more, and if it's consolidating more, it means we're still in the middle of the consolidation. Can we sell it still? This is a big one. We can sell it. You'll have to take this off. This would be the first impulse down. This would be the first impulse down. This would be a bigger flat forming here. I think this has to come here and go back up for a big one there. So you're going to have 1, 2. It can come here. I don't think this is the one that is going to drop through the bottom. It could, But again, there's a chance it might not, because when you start to make so much consolidations in the consolidation, you don't really go very far. But let's assume that it's going to go. We'll still sell it. You can't, this piece here is not the one that is going to go. And this piece might not be the one that is going to go, because you have one up, you have one down, and now you're getting this. But we can do this. We can put an entry there. And when it breaks this low, get it to break even. We haven't broken the top. So when it breaks the low, get it to positive. If that is the one that dropped, we're in the trade. If that is the one that stopped short here and go back up, which is likely going to do, keep your stop above this stop. Calculate your risk so your stop is above here. And when this drop here, if it goes back up really fast, you will still be pretty safe. You're looking at this flat, right? So you'll get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to drop again, right? If not, it just drop and you're in a good trade. What you would try to do if you can exit the trade here is exit the trade. If it stops and it's going back up, by rule, you know, we have a lot of time to exit that trade. I'll show you a few of them that yesterday I told you about, and somebody asked me one of them, what if it's an expanding flat? I said, don't worry, you'll have enough time to exit it. And I'll show you that. And if you've been following us for the last week, you will know that most of those trades, we managed to close them for break even, positive break even most times, right? So I think we should still sell this here. It's still a sell, we'll keep it there. Pung, we had an aggressive sell. An aggressive buy, sorry, we had an aggressive buy here. The reason I told it's an aggressive buy, because we didn't break the top and we're still in consolidation. It might not go. It didn't go. Again, you had the world of time to close the trade. Take break even. I'll take this off, call it the break even trade. But we have a sell setup now. So as you can see, this is a short-term sell setup within the correction. So I don't think this is going to go far either. This one is just probably going to drop to the bottom here. Maybe make a flat like this. And maybe go back up. So we're stuck in this sideways move here for a very, very long time, because this might not be the one that takes off. Right? We're still in the big sideways move. We're still in the 1 hour consolidation. We haven't gone anywhere. And very likely, well, can this one come here and be the one that go up? It can, but I don't think that is the one that's going to go, because there are too many consolidations in here. So there's a likelihood you'll be stuck here. You might come to this level. Probably go back up like this, make a 1, 2, 3. You'll have to come back down for this one. You'll probably go back up for this one, make a big flat here, come back down, probably go back up, come back down, and then go. We can be here for the whole of next week before we eventually go back up. And there's a lot of consolidation, a lot of pieces forming in there, smaller level, lower degrees that needs to complete themselves before you complete the entire flat. And that could take you a long time. Now, can it change within this is what I would show you based on what we have. Right? Like with what we have earlier, if you remember, we had 1, 2, 3. Based on what we had, we thought this would make 1, 2, 3, and then go right back to the top, right? And that is okay. That has to be your forecast, because that is all the information you have. And you're making forecasts based on the information you have at the moment. You can't make forecasts with something you don't have. That's pretty much crazy, right? You're fantasizing what you think it could do. But then when it doesn't do that, which means it did drop as we expect, perfect, no problem there. It started to go back up. It should continue, but then it stopped short and it pulled back. Immediately we said, okay, wait a second. The consolidation is not over. It's getting more complex. And that is normal. You will find very, very complex patterns. Like I said, they could go on for 3 years, right? Not a small one like this, but we've seen bigger patterns that went on for 3 years, right? So this could stay here, it comes back. Now you have 2 sharp moves, you made another sharp move. Now you're getting your first flat in the middle. So you're creating another pattern in here with a 1, 2, 3, and then another bigger pattern, and then probably another 1, 2, 3, which will in turn give you a big pattern like this before it goes up. The more you consolidate here, the more you're guaranteed to get this move to the upside. And then guess what? We're still going to go down, because that just becomes a bigger correction in the middle, right? See this one here? We had this here. It broke the top and then it dropped. We had a big one in here. It broke. So this one would probably come here, go there, come back here, maybe do a few of this and then go to the top there. And you'll get that before you come down. Now, what if this takes off? Well, you'll be buying it here, right? The idea is to buy it from the bottom here to go up. So if it takes off, good. You'll be happy you're wrong about that running flat. We're not sure that is a running flat. We're just assuming it could be a running flat. But the running flat is an up move and the bigger move is an up move. So you will be in the buy. And that's the amazing thing, that even sometimes the pattern you're looking at doesn't really work the way you want. You get out, you're not in the trade, or it's actually going better for you. So the advantage of understanding the whole structure gives you that. The knowledge of that of how pattern moves and how they behave allows you to do that. So go back to the 1 hour. You can don't do anything in here. You can just wait until this whole thing finishes and then decide what to do. But if you're very aggressive and you're tired and you're like, oh, I have to trade, right? What if this goes up one more? Well, no problem. You'll get a running flat here, right? It will go there and then it's going to come back here and we'll get a running flat like this. And then we'll go. So I would say just leave it alone. Don't try to trade within, because most of you will not have the skill level to get out in time and the moves can finish really fast. Just leave it alone for now. We'll come back to that later. Aussie, we were looking for an aggressive buy. Where was the buy? We're looking for a setup, sorry, not an aggressive buy. Setup, we didn't get any setup. You're getting mostly a sell setup here. Right, you can literally see it's making a sell setup. What's the bigger picture in that? Let's go back to the 1 hour. We're still in consolidation, so we will still ignore this sell. Once this sell dropped, after that, you're not going for any other sell, right? We're waiting for this. This is another sell. It probably would drop here, go back there. I could see this making a few more here before it eventually gets to the top there. That would eventually go there, right? This whole consolidation here would finish, make a low, and then go back there. So let's wait for that trade up. When it makes the low, it could either come here or it could totally go up. Doesn't matter. Let's wait for the buy. We don't have a sell setup that is going anywhere. We're at the bottom of the structure. So let it finish what it's doing, and then we look for the bigger one up. I don't think the bigger one is going to happen now. I think once this finish here, we're going to come here and then come back here and then go. But if this goes, good for all of us. So wait for the bigger risk to reward trade. Ignore whatever is happening there. We'll take this off. We're not even looking for any trade on that right now. It's a sell setup, but I mean, if you're very, very aggressive, you have nothing to do, you can go for a small trade here. If you're lucky, it goes a little lower, but I don't think they'll just stop short here and then go back up. Swiss. Okay. The buy we had, the sell, we never got the sell because there was no flag. See, this means we're looking for a setup. I said, wait for a flag here. Even on the 15, I didn't see any flag. So if you had the entry here for the tag, then the 15, close it. Because when it drops, it has to drop really fast. If you had an entry, when we put those entries like mostly for news event, if something happened and it really drops you there. But if it tags you and it stopped like this, you close the trade. If you didn't, you can close it now for probably a 5 pips loss. What you're getting here now is some kind of a consolidation. Can we still sell it? Let's see in the 4 hour. It's still a sell setup, right? This thing still has to drop. But do we have a sell setup here now? Not really. I don't see the sell setup. This definitely is coming down really slow. Right? You can put an entry over here if it falls, but this one is coming down so slow. I think there's a chance it's going to go back up. Maybe we get a flat here and then we'll consider a sell. But if they keep making so much flats, the problem is we're going to go down really, really slow. So we'll have to take smaller trades in it. Right? So keep an eye. This is a running flat. This turned out to be what we tell you it's going to be, a running flat. Go back. You guys should always go back and watch all those webinars. I mean, really, if you're not in the group, go back and watch them more than once, because everything that happened after the fact, you will go back and you can come back to the previous one the next day and see what happened to that one. So it's going to be good for you. And share it with somebody. So watch this here. It's going sideways, and then we're going to see where that drops. I don't like the trade here. Now let this consolidate, make a good trade, and then we'll decide on it. So we're still looking for a sell setup now. So we'll put it here. Sell setup. We're waiting for this to consolidate to give us a sell setup. Then we'll take the trade. Yen. So 2 days, this was the sell yesterday. If you closed it in here, you did well. If you close it here, because remember I said they're not dropping really far. So if it drops far, good for you. But if they're dropping, they stop like this, close the trade. Right? Wait for it to go back up. Your entry should be under here. But when I came on this morning, they already had this flag. So I put this entry here. How many of you put that entry there? Give me a yes if you put that entry there. Any one of you. Only 2 people? So long, you've been here the whole week and only 2 of you saw the flag to put it on? 3 people? Come on. Seriously? Okay. We're going to assume you weren't there when it happened. Well, I saw that. That's where you put the entry, right? So now what you're going to do with that entry, you're going to watch it when it comes to this low. See, I told you it's not that easy, right? You took the euro yen. Okay, well, some of you took the euro yen or other, maybe another yen, right? So what you're going to do, you're going to watch it when it comes to this low to put it to break even, because there is still a chance that this could be a 1, 2, 3 here and go back up like this, make a bigger flat, and then drop. So you're going to take the trade, and you're always going to take a sell in the yen because of where it is on the weekly. Any yen sell setup you must take, because of where it is. If there's going to be a big sudden movement, it will be to the downside. Let's say, I don't know, like what happened the last time when it dropped 1,000, 2,000 pips. It can drop 2,000 pips. We don't know why and when and how, right? But we know if it's going to drop, you have a setup, you'll be in it. And if there's any big thing, it's going to be to the downside, not to the upside. This thing has moved too much to the upside already. Let me show you again on the weekly. It has moved so much that one trader actually stopped trading. I think all of you know the story, right? The guy who said if this thing goes up, he will stop trading. Because when I made the forecast to the upside, he said, well, if it does what Daniel says, he's going to stop trading. By the way, are you in the group? I hope he came to watch all these webinars, right? I hope he didn't stop trade too. So I hope he didn't stop trade. So this one here, right? When we see this, we're always looking for this move up. So all we wanted it to do was to go and break that up. But look how much more it has moved. It has actually broken this up. So with this kind of movement, eventually you're going to get a deep pullback. And deep pullback should be this one before they go again, making a running flat. So if there's any sudden movement that will happen, it will be to the downside before it goes again. So put it back on the 1 hour. Every trade you should take, whether you get break even on everyone. So far, everyone has been positive, either break even or small profit, but positive, right? So, okay, I see a few more traders are in the trade, so we'll see with that. Keep it, just wait some more. You have enough time. Every single one of them we took so far, starting from this one. The first one we took was this one. Positive, we took this one. Positive, we took this one. Positive. Even if you take all of them as break even, you still got 4 break-even trade. You didn't lose anything, right? So we'll see what happens with this one here. Keep the stop for this one, not here, but above this. Increase the risk on that. You're not going to allow it to take you out there. You'll get rid of the trade somewhere here. But you just do that because if it makes a very sharp move and come back here, you'll be okay. And sometimes they do that. 2 trades for this week did that, and I showed you that you got out of them, right? The euro-yen was one. No, I think it was the euro-yen and the euro-pound. Those were one of the pound trades. Euro-pound was one of them. The tag you went up and I said, don't worry, it's going to drop. It did drop, you got back in trade. I think it was either gold or silver had the same thing, right? That you got tagged and they were like, don't worry, it's coming back because the pattern tell us coming, and it came back and you got positive. So, and that's the next advantage of understanding wave analysis. You can know when it's going to happen. Oh, it was gold. Okay, great. So gold and euro pound. So you can't say you didn't have examples of that you had. And the same thing here. I don't think this one is going to take off to the top like that. It will give you a chance to exit. And this might give you a better chance. Don't worry about one pullback. It doesn't matter if it's coming here, it's going to come. It might pull back and drop, pull back, drop. If it goes really slow, then you'll take it off. First hour is not your problem. Let's go. Euros. Okay, so the euros drop. It's making a flag here. This flag is likely going to go up a little more, but it's inside of this one. So a lot depends on where it goes. It comes to the top, we're going to get one more down, and then we'll all be buying. It comes to this level and start to drop, we'll all be selling. See how that changes? Depending on what pattern develops in the middle, will either give you a sell or it will give you a buy. So you have to wait. We're not going to trade this in. If you trade that, you're assuming it's going to be a running flat, right? The only way you could trade that, if you think it's going to do this, you get a flag here and you get a flag here and it goes to break the top. So if you think it is going to go break the top for a running flat, well, you can take this trade, but you have to have the skill level to get out in case it only breaks this top and start to drop. So if you can do that, it's a buy. So let's for the sake of you understanding the patterns, we'll do this. We'll come here and we'll put it like this. And we'll say, okay, take it, but only because you want that we're going to take it as an aggressive buy. Simply so you can understand the two differences with a running flat and that one. So I'm saying if this goes up, all it has to do is break this top and come back here. So you would have to be able to get out of it really quick. Take break even. If it just tag you and stay here, not a problem, you'll close the trade. But if it starts to come back down, it could come down like this. This would be a sell setup for us. So you have to make sure you get out for break even, right? Depends on how it tags you to, where it tags it. But if it goes to this top to make a running flat, 1, 2, 3, come back here, you can get profit out of that trade. So that's the risk factor of it. Would it be a running flat or not? I don't know. You don't know. We don't know that. This is more of a guess that it's going to be. You're taking a chance. So it's a high risk trade. Traders with skills can do that because they will know how to manage it. So we'll put it as a high risk and then we'll manage it together and see if it goes. Euro yen. Yeah, the sell is perfect. This sell should have been closed there. Let it go up, let it do all of this, and the next sell should have come here under this low. If you did, good. Now you want to be careful with this because of the pullback. See this pullback here? That is confirming an upside. That is confirming one up here. 1, 2, 3, make a bigger flat and then drop. So you can wait. You don't have to chase it. We did tag the low, break the low. So I would say keep your stop here above this and wait for that. It is still going to be a flat even if it gets back to that, probably even a running flat because it broke them. This deep pullback is always a warning sign. So I will just hold the trade for an hour or so, keep a stop above there and wait. Let this hourly finish. Let the next hour open and then decide on the trade. It is still going to go down. It's just making a deeper correction. I don't think it's reversing it yet. Europa. We just moved this morning to this level and we'll see what happens. This is a nice flat forming here, so that's a good trade. Keep the stop above this stop. Pound yen. Sorry. If you take this, well, you can see how much hours you had here to close it. It's more of a bigger consolidation. Sound like a running flat, put the entry under the low. And let's assume that is making a running flat. Right? It doesn't look like it's a complete running flat. Let's see. 1, this doesn't look like 2. It looks like we're in the 2 now, so we'll probably get an expanding flat. Or this could be a bigger flat forming here now. So take this off. Let me take this off. It's probably doing this now. This could be the low. Take this off. I think this is a smaller correction of its own. This here is a smaller correction of its own. This is the low. That's your first impulse up. You're getting a correction here. This one is going to go back up. All the yen pairs are going to go back up. Beware. Be careful. They all have the same structure. So if you're in any one of them, you might want to consider even closing and putting the entry lower. Because this definitely is telling us that this would probably go back up here, make a flat, and then drop. This is the low. That is it. So I don't think this one is going to drop here. I would take this off and wait. If you're in the other ones, those are, you can keep them. Wait for this to go back up some more, come back to retest the stop, and then go for the sell. So we're looking for a sell setup. You want it to, sorry. You want it to go back up, then drop. That would be a better sell setup. Punkat. So this was the one, right? We discussed this in details. We took the sell, we took the buy, we took the sell, we took the sell, we took the buy, we took the sell. And then we're looking for a buy setup, an aggressive buy setup. So I said, we didn't get a flagger, we didn't get a flagger. So I put an entry here. I think somebody's question, well, what if it becomes an expanding flat to come down? I told you you're going to have a lot of time to take it off, right? So you should take it off because it's not going anywhere. And now you put the entry above the top, which means if it still goes, you're in the trade. But if it comes down now, you're not going to be in the trade. I don't know what it's going to do. It could be an expanding flat or it could be they're taking off right now. It looks like they're consolidating for the upside. Right? This seems to be like they're making a consolidation for the upside. I could make an argument that that is enough for the consolidation and this could take off. If they come lower, if this is the top and they're coming lower, any flag again here like this, any flag again here will be a sell setup to break the low again. We'll go with an expanding flat here and we'll go to break the low. So we wait for the sell setup or we're already going to be in the buy setup, whichever, I don't know, put your entry or wait. See, the bigger structure is this and that thing will go up, whether it goes up now or it comes down one more time and then go up, it will go up. It keeps expanding that flat, but it's still going to go up. So the bigger trade you don't want to miss, which means you always have an entry order for a buy. Even when we were in the sell, we had an entry order for the buy, right? Because we know that the sell could finish really fast. You will either get break even or you get profit, but then the buys could go as, you know, really quick and you might miss it. So you really always want to buy. The buy is still a valid one. Go back to the 1 hour. Pound New Zealand. Well, this is still an aggressive sell. It's still valid. It's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. I think you could put it like this. You can still, it's pretty risky. It's very aggressive. We'll put it as an aggressive sell. Right? It's really aggressive because they're going slow. Right? They're going slow. But if you look at this move, and this is the move we're looking for, they actually went down really slow. Right? So if we think that is 1, 2, 3, then this one could probably still go down slow like this before it goes back up. It's your choice. You want to trade it or not? When we get trades like that, you make a choice. If you don't have anything better, then you do this. If you have anything better, you just leave this alone, right? Aussie Swiss. Yeah, the buy we put didn't go. It actually dropped a little lower. Not interested in the sell, but because there's nothing to sell here. If you put a sell here, you want break even. Can we put an entry for a buy here? We can. It's not. I don't like this. There's a reason I don't like this. It's a lot of consolidation in it, right? They kind of go up, but then they consolidate. We can put it. The worst case is if they do this and come back down, we'll try to get break even out of it. So this one we took a really small loss there. This one didn't go. We still put it here because we are at a very low point and we have a lot of divergence in the 1 hour and the 4 hour and all time frame, right? So that up move is very likely going to happen. And you don't want to miss it. So you can always put an entry order here. It's kind of an aggressive entry. You can see this. This would be the low. It kind of go up. You're making some consolidation. This would be some kind of an expanding flat. Put the entry above the top and let's see what happens. We're going to put it as an aggressive buy. The buy is, yeah, the aggressive buy is this one. When the aggressive buy, we'll see where it goes from there. New Zealand CAD. Okay, we had a sell here. It's not, that's not a sell. It's going up more. This broke the low. This one here broke the low. So we're not going to be looking. This is just a bigger expanding flat or something. We did break the low here. I don't think this is the low. Could be. If that is the low, then we look for buy setup. Let me look at the bigger picture, see where it is. Let's see the 4 hour. Nah, it's just a deeper pullback. It's just 1, 2, and you're getting a deeper 3 wave up. That happens sometime. I don't think we're totally going up. We'll come down back. So let's see in the 1 hour where it is. It's kind of slowing down there. So it's going to drop. We don't have a good sell setup 15. It made a flat here, kind of making a flat. That was a buy, but that would give you break even. Then it went up. You're probably making a small running flat here. Maybe make a new high and then drop. We'll have to wait for a drop, a flag, and then sell. Selling at the bottom is not really a good idea. We'll try to get it from the top here, but you need a flag before you sell. Right, because it will tag you and go up, tag you and go up. So you need a flag. When it starts to make a flag, we'll sell it. We don't have a buy setup there. Right, there is no buy setup at this point. So we'll put a sell in the making, which means you're waiting for a flag. Canadian turned out to be a very good sell. You probably should have closed that somewhere here, right? Somewhere in here, you close that. It goes up, come down back, goes there. Let allow it to go back up one more there. And then we put an entry for a sell here, right? So as you can see, they all do look like they can go up one more, right? We have this move down. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3. It could either go sharp or it could go as 1, 2, 3, make a running flat. And then that would be a better sell setup from here. I'm in the 5 minutes. I just wanted to show you the internal structures of it. So I think selling here, if you're in the other yen sells, you don't have to really panic. If you close them, great. If you didn't close them, keep a bigger stop. I don't keep a small stop because it could come tag you. We'll wait for this to go and then we'll put the, well, I'm going to put the entry order in. Now it's not ready for an entry order. I'm just putting it so you would know. So I'm putting the trade as a sell setup, which means we're waiting for that entry order. I might not be here when it happens. So you have to make sure that if it goes really sharp to the top there, it could drop immediately. Keep the entry order for the sell. We're not looking at any buy setup as yet. There's a good chance that this could be a bigger flat pattern. There's a good chance we're making a bigger flat pattern like this, right? This one would probably go there, come down and come down and come down, go back up there and come back here and then go. That's one option. The second option is we are trying to drop. So this one could come down, go back up there, make a running flat and then drop. This is an all-time high in the weekly, right? It's a pretty high point in the weekly. So the sell is a good idea. Go back there, wait for it to go up and then put the entry order for the sell. Swiss yen was another sell. I think you definitely closes for some profit and the entry order should have gone under the low here. Again, you can see that this would probably consolidate somewhere. This here. It'll probably go back up, retest this top here, that top, retest that top there, and then probably we'll get a bigger flat. This would be a sharp move down, a big flat, and then the drop. So as usual, they will make one small pullback, one small pullback, one small pullback, and then you'll get a deep one. And then you start to get it. And this is the one you normally wait for if you're not sure about the smaller ones, right? But if you're pretty confident, depending on where it is, you can take those. So we'll take that off. That is closed. This one is not ready. Again, we'll have to put it as a setup because you want this to go back up. It has, if it doesn't go back up in the tag, it will be a running flat. See, you want this here to go back up like that. Tag this stop and then go. But if you put the entry now, let's assume it's going to be some contracted flat. This one could be a contracted flat. We can make an argument for this, having a contracting flat with so many sharp waves, it could be a contracting flat like that, and this could drop. So you can put this entry order in for a sell, but you'd have to increase your risk, which means if you want to get profit, you'd have to increase the risk, put the risk above the top here, not above here, but above the top. So if it tags you here and pull back like this, even if it tags that top, you will get an exit, right? What if it tags you and it stays here, you close the trade. If it tags you and it kind of come here and now pull back like this, you close the trade because there's going to be one more up. So you'll have two chances to close the trade for break even. You will have one chance to have to live through it and then wait for it to drop. Which one is it going to be? Well, by today you would learn it. We're in the 15 minutes. All of that could happen today. So we will put this on as a sell, hoping that it's a possible contracting flat, right? So we'll put one as a sell. The rest of them are in waiting mode, right? Let's see this one. If you're in this one and it starts to move like this, you might just want to put it to break even and leave it. Because if you close it, you'll end up making about 5-6 break even trade. It's going to go down, but it's going to go down in small flats. So if you close every one, you'll end up with very, very small profit or break even. So what you can do is allow this one to drop here now and just put that to break even and leave it. And just live through all of this until it breaks the low. Get to the bottom, take your profit, and that's it. If at any point it come back, take you out, all you got is break even. Don't worry about that. Let's go. We're looking for the sell setup, aggressive sell. We actually put the entry order for aggressive sell. It didn't happen. It means we're going to consolidate much more here, right? It's not dropping. So this is becoming your B part. See, this will probably come here, go back up, come here, go back up. You'll get a bigger consolidation. And then it's going to drop. You can keep the entry as an aggressive sell, or you can wait. Because if it's a contracting flat, it will drop. If this goes down really slow like this, which means it starts to do this, you'll have to take break even at some point because that is going to go back up and we will trade this to the upside. There's not a big move to the downside. So putting it on if it's not going is kind of a risky thing to do because there's no big trade to the downside. But you can put it at just a learn. Well, what I normally tell my traders to do with trades like this so that you get experience managing them is take them as a micro. Just so that you use it as an experience to understand how you're going to manage that trade as it goes along, right? Experience is always good too. And the same for this, right? See, it's not going down, which means you're making more complex pattern. What if it drops from this point? Well, you have an entry. If it doesn't drop, wait, you'll get an experience in how to manage these trades and they go slow. This is your flat. It's going to come here, go back up. This will be your B wave. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, probably come back here, go back there, make a big flat, and then get the drop. Pretty easy. See, if you can come from 1 to 3, you can do it. S&P 500, good. So 2 things you could have done here. Yesterday, I told you it's not going to drop, but keep the entry here because we saw this went back, and I said it's going to come back here. It's going to make a flat, and then it's going to go up. And if you do want to buy it, you can learn something by putting an entry above the top, or if you get it from a lower point. I don't see anywhere you could have got it from a lower point, only above the top. Now you should put that to break even and keep it. Why? Because there's a high probability it could go back to the top. Remember when we were at the bottom here, I showed you near the bottom, they can go back, but they might go really slow, right? They could go as high as this one. Look at this big flat here, right? And they went up pretty deep. This could go, you know, it's crawl its way up, get back to the top here, make a running flat like that, and then drop. And it could go slow. You're break even. You can't lose anything. So yesterday, if you put the entry on, you're doing well. If you didn't put the entry on, wait for another flag and then put it on. I don't put it on now. Now it's a waste of time. Wait for another flag or another setup. Or if this pulls back really sharp, if this here pulls back really sharp like this, take you out for break even. Try to get the trade from the bottom here going up because this would be a running flat. Right? So if it makes a sharp move down and looks like it's going to go back up, start going up, making a small flag, get in the trade. Small flag at a 15 or something. And the same for all of them. Right? The same thing. Makes a flat, it goes up. But you have the sharp move, so it can come back really sharp, put it to break even. I think this US start is the same thing, right? It makes a flat. See this flat? I think we saw this flat here, pretty much this one. Makes a flat, it goes up. It could pull back sharp. They could pull back sharp at some point and then go, you have a big running flat here. So keep it at break even if you take the trade. If you haven't taken it, wait for the pullback or wait for another flag and then take it. And let's go. Yesterday, oh, this is another one. Remember, you got tagged in this with an entry here. You got tagged and then it went up really sharp. And I said, okay, leave this. It's a running flat. It's going to come down here. That is going to give you break even. So if you close it for break even or a small profit here, you did excellent. Now it's made a pullback. I don't think we want to trade it. Can it be a more extended running flat? Yeah, it's possible. Can be. Right? This can be doing something like this, which is a more extended running flat for me. Do you want to trade? You can repeat the same thing. Put an entry here. But this time, if it tags when you start to pull back, you want to close the trade. You'll have to keep a stop here. Right? And if it tags you now and start to pull back, well, you want to close the trade because that could be a deeper pullback like this. See? You kind of get that one. You get a drop, you get a flat, you get a drop, you get a flag, you can drop again. So you don't, if it drops really sharp, well, good for you. You can still take the trade. Do we have a lot to the downside? Not really. Right? Depending on how you look at this pattern. If you look at this pattern as a 1, 2, 3 contracting flat, then yes, this could drop a lot. But if you look at it as, well, we're still in the consolidation here because we didn't break the top, which means 1, 2, 3. It might just break this low and go right back up. So you know the risk. Now you decide if you want to trade. The entry is worth putting. You have a lot of divergence. You have to be careful that this might just tag you and start to go back up. So I would probably just stay away from it. We're going to take it off for now. You have better trades. Let's go Nifty. We had a buy setup on it here. It probably tagged you. It's still there. I don't normally trade Nifty with a 1, 2, 3 close or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 close, the consolidation close, because you have a million consolidations in it all over the place. You have to hold it a little longer and move your stops, because this could still be some, it could still go a little more up and then drop, right? It could still be a flat for downside. I do think they're going to go up because we're at the bottom here. And when you're at the bottom, they go up really nice. So you can just hold it for a while more. If it really doesn't go, then you close and you re-enter the top, but most likely it will go. So keep an eye on it, decide what you're going to do. So we'll go straight into this. And we're in the consolidation, nothing is happening. Dollar index. If you're consolidating here, if they're consolidating in here, it's going to do this, come back here, go back there, come back here. We're going to be here for a long time. Go back there and come back here. We'll get something like this. And then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. So we get this. And then we'll probably go up. Somewhere in there, you could probably get a contracting flat and you go up faster, but we'll have to wait for that. So nothing to trade there. I think we took off this, right? This one is way at the bottom. It's coming down. It broke the low. So anything in here would have to be a running flat now, right? Here's the thing. What if, sorry guys. What if this is a running flat? Or from here, what if that is a running flat? With a 1, a 2, and a 3. Well, then this would go back up here now and break that up. That's one possibility, right? The second possibility is, well, no, this is it. And we're trying to drop. Well, then you would still have to come back here, make a flat here, and then drop. It's rare that this would be a flat. That is not a flat. So it could drop from there. So there are at least 2 versions of how this could develop. There are more versions of how it could develop. I'm not going to confuse you with all of them. I'm going to wait here, and this is what we're going to do. This is the low. If this is going up, we want to see if at least a flag. We don't have a flag. See, this already made a flag here and broke the top. So this is one piece, and this is a sharp piece down. If this goes a back sharp, you don't have anything. You have to wait for it to start making some consolidation somewhere until you get this, and then we'll sell. No trade setup. Just leave it alone. When we do get a trade setup, we'll come back to it. Right? We don't have anything. Gold. Pretty much the same thing. Well, we are already waiting to see whether this is, see why you just sell at the bottom here is dangerous too. Let's see what this does. Just wait. We don't have any buy. We don't have any sell setup. The buy is the best one, but we don't have any setup on that as yet. Yep. So let's go. We're in this one and we're not interested in the buy here. We just wanted to go break the top, but it's not going to break the top as yet. It's still consolidating, which is kind of weird. It should go break the top really fast and then come. But let's see if they come here and then go back up there. We might consider the buy. If we get a buy setup from here, we might consider that buy because it's a good risk to reward trade from that point. Once we break that top, we're going down, right? So once this comes here and go break that top, we'll be expecting it to go down totally. But if they make so much consolidation in here, we might be stuck in this range for a longer period of time before we go down. right? Hopefully it just drops. So every time it makes a new high, we'll just be selling. Every time it breaks this top here, we will sell. That's simple, right? We look for that sell setup. Pound. I think we looked at the pound. We closed the trade. We're waiting for this to go. Let's see in the 15 if anybody wants to get really aggressive. Market is slow if you want to get aggressive. Put an entry here. That's really aggressive trading, which means you're only trading it from here, from this point to this point, right? You're only trading for it to break this low and then go right back up. If you're lucky, they come to this low and then go back up. That is if you're lucky. But let's put it on. We still have time to do nonsense. If you guys want, today is Friday. You can try some aggressive trade and see what I do. On Aussie, we closed already. We're not doing anything there. New Zealand, we closed. We're not doing anything. Actually, this is still a big sideways. It will probably stay here for a while. But if you want to get aggressive in the 15 minutes, it's just about this level. It could come back here as well, right? It could be bigger than that. So if you want to get aggressive, it has to be here. But we can't put so much aggressive trade, especially with a lot of new traders in here who have no idea. I'll just put the line so you guys have an idea, right? Those of you who are more, senior, because the range is how much? Let's see. If you get it from here to here, it's still about 30 pips. So you could get that 30 pips, probably with a 20 pip stop, right? Just be very careful with that. I prefer doing this when I'm in the room with you, so I can help you manage it and get out of it. But I'm not going to be here once this webinar is closed. So for my traders, you can take it because you're going to be in the trading room doing it, right? CAD, we closed CAD also. I think we can take the sell on CAD. It's going to come down and probably drop totally, or it might even go back up. So if you want to take a sell on CAD, you want it to drop. So let's see if this goes back a little here, kind of make a running flat here, and then we can look for this drop to that level, right? If it doesn't drop and it just do this to go back up, well, you'll get out of the trade. The chance are you can get break even out of it. This is a consolidation for downside. You just have to decide whether you want to get aggressive with it or not, right? Eventually, this is going to drop one more with that impulse and then go. So let's see if we want to get it. We'll wait. It's not a good trade right now. Wait for it. You're in New Zealand. Well, you might get the sell set up here finally. Right? You want this to go back a little like this and give you that flat. And then you're going to get the sell set up to here, right? How fast it's going to go, we don't know. If it goes slow, we'll think. But again, we were at this level here. It dropped very nice yesterday. I told you, wait for the flag. Don't chase it because you're going to get a flag. Well, it's making the flag right now. But we're incomplete in that flag. So I think this should go back up to the top. Retest this top, give us a flat, and then that will be a trade. Hopefully that happens by New York session, not before New York. So, but if it happens before New York session, you know what to do. So we're going to put a sell setup. You would know what to do. EuroCAD. Let it go. It's going back one more up. This is going to go a little higher. Let it break the top, and then we look for the sell. We're not interested in the buy on this, right? We're still in the sideways move. Let it break the top again, and then we look for the sell. Euro Swiss. This has to go down more. We don't have enough. We need to break the low first before we go back up. Do we have any sell set up here? Nope, nothing. And buying it is not an option, right? So let this go back up here if they want. We'll probably look at this as a running flat and then take the trade. So let it crawl up and then we'll look for the trade. We don't have a buy setup in it. Pause. I think we closed this already. Just wait for it. Again, simply wait for this to make a top and start to drop, then we'll take the trade. Buying that is not a good idea. Not until it's out of this range. Pound Swiss. Okay, it's coming up. Now let's see if we have any setup for a buy. Okay, you have a buy setup, but it's in the consolidation. It's literally in the consolidation. Let it break out, because it might not break out of this consolidation, right? You do have a buy setup here. You can literally see this. There's an impulse up. There's a flag. This would probably, but it can just stop short of this and then go down back, right? Make kind of another one, right? Something like this. Just stop short, like see this flag here? Just stop short of the top and then, but you want it to be out of this consolidation. What we normally do when we do something like this, if you think it's going to move really fast, put an end shorter above the top here. Now, I'm reluctant to tell you guys to do this because you have to know the patterns to do that. If you're doing it in the wrong pattern, you'll get yourself tagged and dropped. So in this case, you can do that only if you think there's going to be a really, really sharp move like this, right? Like this or like this, that there's going to be a really sharp move like that. come back to the stop, then that is valid. If not, you wait for the setup here to trade it. There is a buy setup there. It's pretty high risk. Why pretty high risk? Because you're still in the pattern. We wanted to break out of the pattern and then make that consolidation, which is I want this to come out here and then make the consolidation here to guarantee that it's going to go. Now, if you take this, you have to be aware that, well, if it doesn't go, I'll put the insurer on. If it doesn't go, you have to get out of it or you have to accept the loss, which means you put a stop here and you take the stop, right? Because once it breaks out of this low here, it could drop anywhere, really, really sharp, right? So this is either a running flat in the making or it's an ending diagonal type of structures in the making. Which is it? We don't need to know because they both look alike. You just need to know what you're going to do with it, right? So put an insurer above the top if you want. That's an aggressive buy. That is for traders who can afford to lose the trade. Really aggressive buy. Aussie yen. It's where we are that makes that buy interesting. The bottom of a daily structure. Aussie yen consolidating will probably go up one more. Like all the yen pairs, they'll probably go back up one more here, make a flat, and then drop. So we can put this also as a sell setup in the making. That's a setup, not a sell as yet. Aussie, New Zealand. Yeah, like I told you, it's going to come to the bottom here. And when it comes here, watch this low. Right? If you really want to do something, there's a good chance it will go back up into this top, maybe even like this. I don't know. Probably go back there. It could do something like this, come here, make a flat, and then drop. If it continues to go like this, well, that would be a squeeze that will take off. Once it breaks this low and continue to, it's going to be a squeeze that will make a very sharp move to the upside. Aussie CAD. Okay, so we're in the middle of nowhere again. We don't have the buy, we don't have the sell. Just leave it alone. It's consolidating. It might most likely be one more drop, but no trade setup in it. New Zealand Swiss. We're at the bottom, all the Swiss pairs. We don't have any setup here, right? This is the low. You made one, you're going like this. You're probably going to come back here, go there, and this would be one more down. So if this follows, if we do this, then the chances are the pound Swiss will not go. So you have to be careful, right? But this looks more like a consolidation like this for one more down. You can sell it. You're out of the structure now. If you get a consolidation out of the structure, it's a good thing, right? But again, they can just break the low and then start this up move. So we'll see. But it's consolidating for downside. You don't have a trade. New Zealand yen. Like all the yen pairs, you're waiting for the flat. We don't have it. It's just an up move with some consolidation at the top, so you have to wait for that. We can put it waiting for a flag. Let's put we're waiting for a flag to sell. And CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss has a sell setup now. And you could take the trade because we would assume that that is it. Yesterday, I told you if they go there and they stop it, we still assume that that's the correction. Right, so you wait for it now. This is the correction. You have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's an X running flat in the middle of a regular, well, in this case, a contracting flat, because this one contracted. It is a running flat because this broke the top, but the middle part, the two ones are showing smaller impulse. This is a nice flag you can sell here. Actually like this. Now, this might just be one more drop. Right? It's a Swiss pair. So like all Swiss pairs, they look like they have one more drop. So you can put this for one more drop here. Just one drop, take profit. What if that is a flag for upside? What if this here is a flat for upside? You got an impulse and you got a deep flat here for upside. What if that starts to go, well, it's possible. You just can't buy it here, right? That assumption. Every time you try to buy something that looks like a flat will get you in trouble because you can see this here, right? This is a flat. And the question is now that it came back to the top, right? Let's put this 1 second. You've got this flat here, right? So you have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3. Because this is so deep, our thought process is this is going to drop, so we go for the sell setup. But because of where you are in the daily, structure, see? It can go back up. We're assuming that it is going to go back up. Now, can it drop some more before it goes back up? Absolutely. So we'll put this sell, and if this is actually starting the up move, if this is starting the up move, let it make a sharp move up like this, and the next flag that happens will be our buy setup to the top. See, pretty easy. Don't try to take that one assuming that is going to be the start of the upside. This is not so good. It's more of a sell setup. So the sell is very short term. So if this drop one like this and stop, you have to get the hell out of it because we're going back up. But if you look at this, actually, this had a big flat at the bottom here. See, really big flat, small, and then it went up really slow. So you would have got break-even trades. I don't think this one is going to go up slow because I'm looking at this as the B wave. This is the corrective part of it. So this is the sharp one, and this is the sharp one. This should go back up like this, and it should go really fast. Let's see. No need to chase it. We put the sell setup, and then we'll come back to it. If it makes a sharp spike up, if this goes up really fast, then we'll come back to it, wait for a flag, and then buy it. But from where it is, it can go up. You're aware of that, right? Okay, I think that's about it for these pairs. Let's go through natural gas. If you're in the sell, there's a sell setup there. If you took it, there was this sell setup, and then there's this sell setup, depending which one you're trading. If you're still in the trade or you close the trade and re-enter, just wait for another big flag and then sell again. Right? You can take profit, wait for another flag, sell again. PayPal, nothing. Tesla, still upside. It still has to come to this stop. If you're in the trade, if you close it, put an entry above this stop here now. You're watching this stop and then either go all the way to this level. So when it breaks the stop, you put it to break even. Amazon, nothing. US 30, same thing like all of them. If you're in the entry order for the buy, you put it to break even and not wait for another flag. It can climb up all the way back to the top, right? This can come back all the way to this level for a running flat. So the buy setup is valid. You still keep the sell there. The sell setup should still be here, right? As a matter of fact, the sell, no, don't put it higher because if it's a running flat, this one would drop here, make a running flat and then go up. So you don't want to be tagged here and then watch it go up. So keep it where it is now for the sell. The sell remains there. If it's going to drop, you want the trade. The buy is short term because we're correcting upwards. We already did DAX and Nifty. Let's see, Bitcoin. So if you look at all the cryptos, what we would do is we'll move them around in patterns, right? Patterns that broke out, patterns that didn't break out, and patterns that are going to be more downside. So right now, this is making a pattern that hasn't broke out. It came back to the top. You're getting this. So if it comes back here, this is a perfect buy setup. If it breaks the low, we don't care. We repeat the process, wait for impulse, wait for a flag go. So we're making a flag here. So the buy setup is valid, but you want this to come down first. You don't want it to tag you actually, but you can leave it there. This one, it looks like it's going to go down mostly, but you're consolidating. You're getting back to the top there. You can put it like this. It still looks downside. It doesn't look upside as yet. So we'll leave this as a downside trade. Dash. Upside, this one is going already. So this would be more of a running flat, right? Now, remember we said this could be all the correction there, right? That there could be all the correction. Take this off. And this could be the low. So you actually want this trade, but you want the flat, and we haven't got the flat as yet. If this pulls back here, and it's likely will pull back like this, put an entry above the top for a running flat pattern. If we're wrong, it's going to drop. If we're right, it's going to go up. We want the running flat. We want to be right at the running flat, but you want this to pull back a little, just like you want the you want Bitcoin to pull back. So we're going to put this closer to Bitcoin because they have similar patterns. We're waiting for them to pull back a little and then get in the trade. Same thing here. You want, actually, you should have put an entry order here because I think we already said this could be a running flat from this one here, right? If you put the entry order, if not, wait for any flag or wait for another pullback and then put the entry order. Whichever, right? This could still go. This broke the low already. We don't have any expectations in it. It's upside. Now, it might go like this, or this could be all the correction. So it's either totally take off or make another correction like that and drop. That will give you enough to get out for profit. We could put this closer here, wait for a pullback. This one is a perfect one. It already got the flat. You can put the entry order. What you do, two things you would look for is that it goes here, make a flat, and decide to drop. Right, that's one option. The second option is, well, it takes off. So I like this one. This one is pretty good. So we're going to put the line here so you're aware that when it gets to this level, you have to put an entry order to sell if it is going to drop. Right, so let's say this tags you here and I don't know, it does something like this and start to do this and do this. You put an entry order here to sell it. Because when it gets there, if it drops, you'll be out of the trade. And you'll be out of trade for positive. We'll repeat the process of buying back here to the upside. Although you're long-term. So this one actually could go up to, that one could go up there. We'll just take this one. So we don't have to move all of them. We'll just take this one and put it to the bottom. Not ADA. Which one was it? Not this one. I think it was this one, right? This one is good. This one is good. Which was the one that we wanted to put at the bottom? This one. I'll just take it and put it way down at the bottom because it doesn't have any setup for us, right? So we'll go again. Let's see this. Okay, well, this is already at the top. You not much you can do there. You have to wait for this to make a flag, and you're definitely waiting for a flag. On the 1 hour, we don't have anything. You need a bigger correction. Small corrections are gone. If you're trading the small corrections, you have to get the break in, but you need this to stop and make a bigger one like this, and then get into the trade. These small ones will eventually make a bigger one if you're not in the trade. Link. This definitely looks like it can drop because of the depth of this pullback. So I wouldn't be surprised if this actually dropped, make a new low. So we'll put this as trying to make a new low first before we get in the trade, put it to the bottom. We're not interested in this until we get a new low. And let's go. XRP, I think. Nope. OMG. OMG is going up. Again, you need a flat. We haven't got a flat. If it pulls back, I think this should pull back here. If this pulls back, make a flat like that, a nice running flat, that would be a very good trade to the upside. So wait for the pullback, go for the trade. Did we do this one? Yeah, we did that. XRP, perfect. If you're in the trade, you see this one had the flat already. This one had its flat. That's why we put the entry order. It's going good. You can literally say now, okay, if this thing comes here and decide to go down back, if it comes just here, right, and decide to drop, put an entry order here to sell, or here to sell, depending on where it's a good place, so they don't just take you out immediately. If it takes off like a rocket, you're in the trade. You don't have to worry about it, right? And let's see this. So this one already did that. It's coming down. You should put an entry order here to close the trade. If you didn't close it already, put an entry order here to sell. So if this drop, we repeat the process. If it goes up, you'll probably be in a good trade. See? We wait. Dot. It's going sideways. This is not good. This doesn't, the depth of this is not good for us. So we'll put this at the bottom. Just among those. Let's go. AMP. We already put this on because this is consolidating, but it's consolidating a lot of short time. No problem. Put the entry on. If it takes you, I think we closed this once already but if this goes, it's going to come somewhere here, right? Look for this flat. The way it's going so slow, I think they'll break the low. So if it tags you and it looks like it's going sideways, close it. It has to tag you and take off like these. It has to tag you and shoot up like this one, right? Shoot up like that. That's the trade. It has to tag you and do this. Tag you and go like that. If it tags you and goes slow, close it on. Think it's not going anyway, right? So we've got that clear. Let's see this one. This okay, keep this one. Put the entry also. If it tags you and goes slow, be careful. But if it goes fast, it's a good trade. We're looking for this one. So we're looking for this straight up. This is downside. This is deep. Anyone that is deep, we're going to put them as downside, which means if they go, they go. We don't care. We're not interested in those. The patterns are not really good. And the last one. Dot. Also downside. So all the rest are downside. That's it. Completed. Thank you very much for your time to be here. But before you leave, let me introduce you. I think I told you about David already, the group that is offering, the company that is offering accounts for you guys to trade. So as normal, you know, I don't really promote anybody in anything and anywhere, but what I like about what they're offering is that if you take an account from them, from what I understand, is they will pay for a couple months of your installment. If you need the account and you're going to take it, don't take it for the installment, but take it because you need it and you think it's something that's going to work for you. I'll pass it over to David. If you have questions, he'll tell you about it and you'll ask him all the questions you want, right? So I'll stop sharing. David, you can share now. You can share your screen.
Yeah, one moment.
And the guys will ask you some questions. You have all the time you want. Because
definitely. So good morning, everyone. My name is David, and me and Anil have a great announcement to share with you today. I'm gonna share my screen right here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. Everybody can see it, actually, right?
Perfect. So we have partnered up with Anil in order to provide you guys tremendous value, more than ever. Anil, if you didn't know, as a private group, Anil, everyone knows about your premium service, right?
I assume they know already. If they come here, they probably know. Most of these guys have been following me for years. Don't worry about that. Go ahead,
That's
go
good.
ahead, tell them what your company offers and what you're gonna give them. Let's make it to the point. It's gonna be easier.
Perfect. So basically, we have partnered with Anil to provide you 3 months of his premium service, including a funded account, which you will not have necessarily to trade on your own money and trade with, we take all the risk. You just trade on one of the best platforms out there. Let me show you the stats and metrics of the account. I'm going to scroll down right here. You should be able to see it now. We offer an account that's not just Forex, but basically has all the assets from US stocks to cryptocurrencies to futures, and of course, all the pairs that you're trading here with Anil on daily basis. I'm going to show you the platform as well. This is how the platform looks like. You're basically getting $14,000 that has 8 times leverage on Forex. You get to go to the watch list, for example. Let's go with Forex. Sorry, let's go with right here. You can see all the assets that we have. We have European markets, cryptocurrencies.
I'm not, David, 1 second. I'm not sure your screen is changing. Is it only my side? I'm still seeing the trading things that you're showing.
I'm also still seeing that, yes.
But it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. Don't worry. All these guys can trade. So they literally know everything about trading.
Of course. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
We see your screen now, yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Now you see it. So here you can see all the currencies that we have and all the different markets that we have. So basically, you're paying $349. You're getting 3 months in Anil's premium service, and you're also getting the 14K funded account. You don't need to go through any challenges or qualification process like some other funded account providers have, or most of them. You get funded within 5 days and you make and generate profits from day one. You really don't need to go through all this hassle. So really smooth, fast platform, serves any needs that you have. You can trade through the chart. You have all the indicators and you can import any mobile applications. Basically, you got everything you need in one place, and you're getting it for the same price you would have paid Anil anyway. Yeah, so I'll be able to answer any questions about a funded account, about the trading, about the offer. I'm going to leave you the link so you can also review it yourself in the chat. Anil,
Okay.
want to post it?
Okay, David, we have the first question. I don't know if you can see it. Do you get access to all the trading room for 3 months? You will get access to the recording that we do on what they're going to pay for is 3 months of your installment, right? So
yes.
So what you will get for that is you will get the recording of the London webinar and the recording of the New York webinar. But like I said, if there's a lot of you guys who are taking this, then I would probably consider making it live for you. Just like we do now, you will get access. We'll have to create something where you will get access for the live session that we're doing. So you get it live in London, live in New York. But that means if there are only 10 of you taking that account, then I wouldn't be going ahead and creating a whole system to set up that, right? It's not as easy as you think. We have to set up on my side. Victor will have headache for 2 months to set it up. So basically, rather than if there's a lot of you accepting that, then yeah, we will incorporate you in the live session. But like I say, right? This is if you want it, if you need the money, if you think you can trade live, you will get access to it, and then we can work on something like that. They're paying for 3 months for you. In 3 months, you can make money to pay for yourself, I assume, from there on, right? So 3 months is $300. That is what you're paying for. David just said that is what you will be paying for the account in any case.
Yeah, the beauty here is really you're paying $349. That's only $349, and you're getting 112,000. Like in one session with Anil, you can really make it back.
Good question here. Good question here, David.
Please.
Are there quotas to fulfill as percentage to reach? Like profit, like
goals?
Profit. Do they have the goals? Do you have
any
quotas?
No. At you trade at your own pace. Nobody's putting pressure on you. You can trade anytime, any day. Really,
it's a one-time payment, right? As all of you guys.
One-time payment. It's a one-time payment or equivalent payment.
Okay, let me ask some question because I probably am more aware than the other traders as well too.
Wonderful.
If they don't make any profit but they don't lose any money for 3 months, do they lose their account?
They don't lose their account. The
So
account
you still
stays with them.
have the account to trade, right? Basically,
They can trade. They can have the account for 30 years, as far as I'm concerned, unless they,
as long as you don't lose their
breach.
money. So which means you just
Yeah.
have to have a good money management strategy. If a lot of you
Absolutely.
take it, I can give you a good money. We can create a money management strategy where you will never lose that for a year. You will never lose
Absolutely.
a $700 for. I can create a money management strategy for you, where in 1 year you're never going to lose that. Not 3 months, but in 1 year you're not going to. If you make money that will.
We made sure to set the price really at a very low point, and that it's worth for everyone, and you can even make back, I don't know, within 1 week if you trade well with
Another question someone is asking: what is the
Please.
minimum drawdown? I think it's written there, $700, right? Maximum allowed.
Yeah, and just let me.
There's no
pinpoint-
minimum. There's a maximum drawdown, which means when you
Yeah,
reach 700, you at the account
Let
closes.
me cover this part. This $700 is not a trailing loss, which means the only way you can lose this account is by reaching the number $13,300, which is double than what you pay. Okay, so already you're in some advantage right here than trading on your own money.
Wait. Can you repeat that? I didn't get it. When you lose
Yes.
account is when you lost.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes people think that, let's say, if you reach $15,000, then okay, if I lose $700, is my account gone? No, the answer is no. The only way to lose the account is if you if you get to $13,300, which is the $700 maximum.
So maximum $700 of their money you can lose.
Yes.
So you're giving them $49 and you get to lose $700 of their money.
Yes, and you get to pay only $349.
David, is that on closed trades or on equity?
Is it, sorry, come again?
Is that on closed trades or is that on equity?
You mean if it's unrealized or
So
realized?
is realized or also unrealized?
Both.
Okay.
So you can't have a drawdown of that amount. Once it reaches a drawdown, the platform will automatically close all the trades, right?
Yes, the platform works automatically. When you reach that number, the accounts will close.
So you just have to plan your trades and not to meet that number, basically.
Of course, and also you can build. Yeah, you can also focus on
building. Since there's no time limit, you can just trade slowly. Take micros and trade.
Absolutely. Yep, and you can also build cushion. Like, let's say you want to build the account to 15,000. Now your drawdown is 1,700. Just an option.
Yes, Yatin. Another question. One person says he's in the UK. You will have a US dollar account, so it doesn't matter. You will see it. Even if you trade in the UK, you will still trade in this broker, and it's in the US dollar. So you will see 700 when it reaches. Don't worry.
But by the way, guys, I know that obviously the vast majority of you are Forex traders, but if you guys are also looking to invest, or I don't know, in the London Stock Exchange, in some stocks, long term, or just day trade, or whatever you like, you have all the options to do that. You can use this account for any means necessary, for long-term investing, for swing trading, for scaling your portfolios.
They have cryptos also, and it's 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So you're not using leverage in cryptos. You have to buy, if you follow the strategy of using cryptos, you buy an amount that wouldn't lose you more than $700.
Exactly.
That would lose you probably $100 at a time. So you have 7 attempts to get it right.
Right.
Put it that way, right? And then you double the account. Basically,
exactly.
if in 7 attempts you get that spike, say for example this one. Which one did spike? I think this one, the XRP spike. So you have 7 attempts to get this right? Where you can put an entry here, calculate your stop here, and then you get 1-to-1, right? Basically, but then it's a 1-to-1 risk, so you don't have to put a stop on it. You're buying it for 1-to-1. So you buy so that if it drops, the amount you buy is that if it drops, then you don't lose $700.
Have you shared the link with everyone in the chat?
Not as yet. You can put it in the chat. I was waiting on you to do that. Do I keep my leverage profit? What do you mean leverage? Your profit, basically. You get to share the profit with them. So how much do they share the profit with you in this account?
So the different levels.
Let's take the 14,000 first.
Yes, the 14,001, you get 70%. Now that 70% calculation only happens after you want to request your money out. So if you made today $1,000, the $1,000 stays in the account. You can still trade and build up the account. But when you want, okay, I want to take the money out, and you send a request for a payout to your bank account, okay, then they will keep 30%, you will take 70. Later on, you can scale.
How fast does that process happen, the payout process?
Depends where your bank is, but usually 48 hours.
Okay, great. That's it. At any point, the next question. Oh, David just posted out the link for all of you guys. What kind of spread conditions we should expect while trading? What you mean the spread that they have? Here's what you can do before you take the account. Go to the page and look at the spread and all the thing.
Yeah, the
Or
spreads
take a
are not-
demo. Can people open the demo with you?
Of course,
So
of
open the
course.
demo, test it to see what the spreads look like, and then check
When
it
you
out.
leave here, when you go here and you leave, you leave the details. Of course, you will get. You can request.
People from the
anything.
group do
Yeah,
not
people will
need
from.
access to installment. Let me see.
We have
People,
a
okay. My trader asked a good question. People from the group do not need access to installment. So people from Anil's group can only pay 50 to get the 14 account. So the people who already bought my course, they already paid the money. They don't need the installment. So can they just pay you the $50 and get the account?
Definitely.
Yes.
No. So wait, you said 50?
No, instead of the 350, the 300 which you would be giving back for the installment, they don't need it because they already bought it. They already bought the course. So they're saying, can they just get a reduction of $300 instead?
No, it doesn't work like that. It's like a bonus. So it comes
Yeah,
together.
but you would still have to pay the $300 for them to get the installment.
I know, but it still wouldn't work this way. It has to be the minimum payment price. So I know what you're saying, but still it has to be the. But maybe we can work out on giving them
a refund.
Something.
So are you giving me an I refund to them? Because it's the same thing. If you're going to pay $300 for them to get the installment, and he doesn't need it,
that you can do. I don't mind.
Yeah, we can consider that, Stas.
That you can do.
If you take the account, you pay them the full. For some reason, their system work like that, and I refund you the 300 once they transfer it as installment payment. They will transfer it as installment payment, and you will get it back. So my group, we can discuss internally on the group how we do that.
Then I would expect if that's the case, I would expect all of them to trade on it.
In my group, we're pretty transparent about everything.
No, it's good.
I'm very transparent, and I'm pretty much like, they know that I could actually have taken that $300 for myself rather than giving them, right? Let's agree with that, right? If I promote you and you pay me, that money should have gone to me, but I decided I don't want it. I told David, no, give it back to the people in some form.
I like that. If that's the case, everyone should get it. Like for $50 to get a funded account, it's a no-brainer.
So literally, no, I will give you back the money. There's no question. I'm not keeping this a secret. I'm telling, because and they know how much promotions offer I get, but I don't take them.
Sorry,
right? So
you posted
you're the first lucky person because you're giving them the possibility to get my webinar. That is my most important thing.
Absolutely. And guys, I reposted the link.
Okay, somebody is asking if do you recommend it? Honestly, I'm not recommending it. Let's get this clear. This is an agreement we have because they have contacted me. They're the only one who gives a leverage account that contacted me and said, hey, we would like you to say this. And I made it to David. David can tell you honestly. I said, we don't promote anything in my group. This is not the first conversation we had with him. And then we came up with the idea that since I don't want your money, if you give the money back to the traders in some form, and people, because there are 3 people who call me that they need the account still. I don't know if any one of them is in this group, and I send them the link. And I said, you may want to talk to those guys to give you a reduction because I'm not going to take any money from them. And the reduction is, if you take the link, the reduction is they're going to pay the $300 for you to get 3 months of the thing. Now, for my traders who already have the course, or any trader who bought the course, that $300 will go back to them.
I got 2 questions here, Anil. I don't know if anyone can see it. One from Andre. Can you maybe make a separate funded account deal for Anil's internal group? Yeah, Anil just covered that part. So yeah, I mean, whatever he closes with you with the internal.
I think another very good question. Is it a registered company? Can we confirm?
Yeah. You also see that question. Is it a registered company? The company behind the whole funded accounts and the partners is TradeNet.com. That's where I work. And you can also go on YouTube and type TradeNet, Meir Barak, you will see us. We have been in the business since 2004. The funded accounts have been running since 2013. I can share about 300 video testimonials of satisfied people. We are quite big. We're also doing live every day, but we are focused only on US stocks.
Okay. Another question I collected privately that somebody is asking. How would the payment for I think the person is worried with what if they pay and you don't give them the 3 months. How does that payment work? Will they pay first and then the money come over for the installment?
Please clarify.
The person is asking, what if he buys it and he doesn't get the access to the installment?
Why
I don't
wouldn't
know.
he get?
I don't know if he's worried whether I would give the installment or whether you're going to pay for him to get the installment. That's what
Anil,
yes.
we are paying Anil, and then that's basically
So
covering the
I
installments.
hope once you take it, you can send me a message that, hey, I'm taking this, and I would.
Yeah,
well, I guess David is an honest person to send his money across. If he doesn't, then we'll have to figure out a way to get back to your money, right? So. I think one person could try it and suggest. I don't think that's a big deal. $300. I don't think you want to steal $300 from anybody.
We're a big company. Whoever asked that, so no, that's not a problem.
Okay. Next question. Next question is: can I see the link? Yeah, the link is already in the room. You can somebody repost it also. How long is this offer valid for? Is there a time limit to the offer?
There is no time limit, guys.
There's no time limit, no rush. Take your time, go study them, study the company.
But definitely register and at least get a demo, test the platform. If you want to test the platform, or just proceed and get started right away, up to you. But definitely test it out.
Let's move on because a lot of questions. Where is the company based? Is it regulated by some country regulators?
Yes, so let me explain the first questions first. The company is located in 3 different spots. We have 3 offices, one in Israel, one in London, and one in Cyprus. The company belongs, let me show you.
Is it regulated in the UK? If you have an office, it should be regulated.
Of course.
Okay, great. So
it's not a regulation. Let me show you. Can you see my screen?
Can everybody use the UK one? Can they get access to the UK office?
The UK office, let me explain. The UK office belongs only to online contact, but regulation-wise, there is no regulation on funded accounts, because what happens here, it's a very important point. It's a very important question. When you trade on your own money with a broker, okay, then you deposit your own money, then you're falling under XY regulations. What is happening here, when you join the funded account, you're signing a contract, which means you're providing freelance services to the private investment firm, and they are paying you, okay? So for instance, if you're a business owner, already you can buy it and, get paid through your business, which could be a big advantage. So that's just one point. Other than, it's not capital gains, it's not taxed as capital gains as well.
Okay, so it's basically you'll be signing a contract with the traders that says they're trading on your behalf.
Exactly.
And when they make money, you pay them.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. That's how the profit split works. That's how everything works, the system. So they are coming, they're trading, and whatever they generate, they get a share.
Another question: is there a requirement to take a minimum number of trades daily, weekly?
No requirements or whatsoever. Everyone will trade at their own pace. You can trade once a week, once a year, invest in Tesla today and sell it in a year.
There's another question for the time limit. No, there's no time limit. You can come after 2 months and take it if you want. Can we transfer, can we get an FSP number?
FSP?
I don't know what that is. I mean, video testimonial. This person's not in a, he doesn't want video testimony. He wants some, could we get a registration number instead of YouTube? He wants a registration number for the
registration number?
I think for the company, right? Can you clarify that?
I will probably, I can find it probably.
He wants to know where is the company registered? The original company.
In Cyprus.
In Cyprus.
Yep.
So he should be able.
HQ is in Cyprus.
So he's looking for a registration number to check whether the company is validly registered in Cyprus. If I get that clear, right?
Definitely.
Can I trade news events and keep all my profit?
Can you trade what?
News events and your profits are shared. I don't know how you mean keep all the profit. You can trade anything. You can trade anything. The profits are shared.
If you like the system and you step up, here is 85. It can later on even get up to 95%. There are scaling opportunities.
So what if somebody wants to take a bigger account? They get more. They get more months. They get more months.
Maybe we can cover them the entire thing if they get a bigger one.
Okay, I don't think they should take that at the start. Take the small one and then grow.
No, of course not. They should come, test things, test the waters if they like.
Okay, the guy is waiting. Is the registration of your company anywhere public? The registration number of your company?
It's a private company, but it should be because every company is registered.
But have you publicized it anywhere, or can you send it to them? He's asking for that. He probably
don't have it
to
right
check
now.
that company actually exists.
Yeah.
Which makes
If-
sense, right? You want to know that the company is offering you something actually is a real company.
Yeah, you can go to a website and look it up. I can try to find it next week. I don't have it right off the bat, but you can really go and
Can we buy
look
US
up
government treasuries too? Is that I think another question? Can they buy US government treasuries with it? You have that on your platform?
government treasuries. Let's
Basically,
put
guys, I'm like you. I have no idea about this thing so much. So all the questions you're
Yeah.
asking are making sense for me, right?
that's good questions. So I will show. We got almost the entire Nasdaq stocks, but we don't have treasuries. No.
Okay, here's a very interesting question. Very good one, by the way.
Go ahead.
What if I lose all $700 in a single day? Will I still get the 3 months of wave analysis of annual?
Yes, yes. It's not a condition. You're getting that as soon as you buy. Okay, so we are not testing how you trade.
So when you buy, immediately they will pay for your 3 months. So even if you lose the $700 in a week, in a day or so, you will still get access to that 3 month. But I think that question is more of a catch. You probably don't try to lose it in a day, because here's my thought process before we move on. There's a lot of
saying the worst case scenario, but no.
but there's a lot of companies like this. We know they exist. You can Google them and search, right? But what might be good for you? Why I'm interested instead? Why I invite David to talk to you guys? Why this might be interesting? If another company that approached me and give me the same offer, I'd probably invite them to do it. Is that you're going to have 3 months possibility to have some guidance, right? And you're considering this. If you had wanted to take my thing, you're paying $50 for that thing. If you had wanted to take, if you had wanted to take an account, which means you really feel you can manage an account successfully, you're getting 3 months free thing. So whichever way you look at it, you're getting 3 months free of my signals. The mere fact that you're here, I assume you like what I do, and it's helping you, right? That's the assumption, that it's helping you because you're hearing live in the sessions. So if that is helping you and you think you can do it, only then you should consider it. You shouldn't consider it if you don't think you can trade an account successfully, right? Don't just take it for the fun of it. $300 is still a lot of money for a lot of you out there.
I would add something of what you said. If they are already trading somewhere, okay, if they have an account that's open somewhere, they are much better off trading on the funded accounts. They better do mistakes on the funded account than do mistakes on their own money, because here again they are allowed to lose twice as much, they pay less. Okay, the risk management makes much more sense on the funded account than trading on their own money. So if you are trading real money right now, and you have passed the demo and paper trading.
David, another private question to me. Somebody's asking, what's the interest for you if you're giving up the $300 that they're paying? You're only left with 50. He's asking, what's the interest of you giving an account then?
What's the interest of us?
Well, like, what's your interest in this? Let's say your interest in giving out the account is that you still get $300 as security if they lose the 700, right? You get half of it.
There are two interests.
What the person is saying now, you don't have that. You're going to lose $650 in case they lost the 700. What's your interest in that?
There are two interests. The first interest is the fact that we know that the product is really good and that you're going to like it, and we are kind of betting that you will probably move up the ladder, okay? That's how it is. You know, we've been running this system since 2013, so we know the player value, we know what's happening. The second interest, very good traders, we copy them into the normal real equities market. So that's the second interest.
Okay, so you're assuming that a vast percentage of traders will be winners rather than losers.
Of course, okay. even if it's 20%.
If you don't mind sharing the stats, what is the stats at the moment? What percentage actually move up? Like our successful traders.
It's I'm saying they don't have to be necessarily successful in order to move up. They can just like the system and find it valuable in order to move up. So it's not a condition in order to move up. It's a matter of how much you pay. In this case.
But what I'm saying is that okay, let's put it this way.
Okay.
How many you have traders in your platform already? Quite a lot. Like is there a percentage of them that are making money and a percentage that are losing their account totally? Like, do you have a stats? I just want to check to see if that stats is really.
Of course, there are stats. I can share that, but there are good stats. Comparing to any trading platform, the big ones, the eToro, the plus 500 ones, we have a much better stats than all of them. So that I can say.
Okay, so if you can share the stats with those traders, that might give them some more. But plus, the idea is how you trade, right? You're trading
Again,
on
it's individual. Like even if I say it's 69,
What?
31,
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
some more questions. Let's go through them fast. What are the overnight fees? I think you can check that on the platform. That might be easier rather than answering it because they might be different for every instrument. I think rollover. What are rollover fees?
Yeah. So this one is a good question because it's something that's probably going to change in the 1st of July. We're probably gonna make it 0, so people will be all overnight for free. But it's something that will be completely announced on the 1st of July.
Okay, another question, and this is an interesting one that I think traders are asking. Same question like the first one.
Go ahead.
Somebody said, "I'm sorry, Anil, but this sounds too good to be true."
This sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
Let me
What's
tell
the
you
catch?
something.
What's the catch in it? That's what I think. That's what he's asking.
Yes, it's a good question. You probably are aware of other companies like Anilio said. You have FTMO, you have Top Step Trader. These are funded account providers which are quite famous today, but they were founded in 2018. We started a funded account for retail. We were the first ones to provide funded accounts for retail in 2013. So we're the first one in business. Otherwise, there were funded accounts in Wall Street that, you come, you get like 0.5%, and you're trading for a company. That's kind of, and it was like you have to pass qualification challenges. We're the first and only retail company that I know of that provides the funded accounts for everyone without qualifications, and you're getting it within 5 days. So no catch. It just works. You have 2 weeks money back guarantee as well. So I mean, if there is any,
but I think what they're saying is that the other companies, like if they don't, I don't know if they offer conditions like you, but like say they would consider that if what they're thinking is that if 80% of the traders lose their account, right, then you collect $300 from 80% of the traders,
okay,
and the 20% that make success will eventually grow and make money for you. Right, so you can take the money that you collect.
We don't lose when the clients lose money. We don't lose money because it's all internally. Okay, we decide in the back end when to release trades to the real market. Okay,
so you wait until a trader is successful before you release it.
Of course, then that means that way.
So I hope that answers your question. What you're getting is an account you will trade. If you make money, they will probably pay you from their pocket.
No, probably, certainly, 100%.
Yeah, they'll pay you from their pocket, and then all your trades will go over to live to actually as a liquidity provider. If you fail, well, you fail.
Exactly.
So if you fail, they will only make $50 here, which is small, but I don't know. I think that's a question the traders are asking, right? If a normal person failed, he loses the $350. So that goes to them.
Shoot the questions. Don't be shy. Anything you have on your mind.
I'm open. I'm asking questions myself. I'm open to this because I don't know. Like I said, this is not a promotion. This is, you have it and you can either decide you want it or not. You don't have to take, no obligation here. How the scaling opportunity works, fund size. Basically, what he's saying is if you like it, you pay more and you get it. If you pay more, you'll demand more from them. You'll tell them you want the whole course free.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't do that until you start making money. Is there an affiliate program? No, there's not really an affiliate program. He will give you a link, or you can tell him, hey, I'm taking your thing, but I would like to have Anil's. I think they have other things. I can tell you honestly, they have other promotions. David, let me finish this part so people will know of my honesty here. They're doing this with a lot of other people, and those other people offer you different things. So if you don't want my course, but you still want their thing, you can go on their site and find other people who are offering. Maybe, I don't know, people are giving you shoes, pants, whatever. And you can take that instead of the three months course. I have no problem with that. I'm not giving you this because you're going to get it 3 months. I'm giving you that if you like it and you really like what I do and you want to have access, but you don't have the money for both, and you want to have a course, then you can. Again, I would say, unless you think you can make money, it's not worth taking. It's only worth taking if you think you'll be successful.
Get it through Anil. Better to get it through Anil.
It doesn't matter to me. You would be surprised. It really doesn't matter to me.
I know, but I'm saying it's much better.
If they want to have more in mind, they can get it like that. just to
will tell-
clarify, this
I will
website
tell you
is-
why, Anil, because maybe at some point, because I will tell you why. Maybe at some point we will come and say, okay, we want to reward Anil's group and get you the best spreads out there, okay, improve your spread. So it's better, and we will target all the accounts that are under you, because I like to treat.
Those are minor things. Let's get to some more. Just to clarify the website, we accept all trade except the United States. Yes, I think that's an important thing you said. They don't accept traders from the
Yes.
US.
The only country we can't accept traders from, the United States. They work
I think that has
differently nowadays.
most brokers that are not registered in the US do not accept US traders because it has to do with a tax policy.
Correct.
This is not a secret. If
Regulation must
yes,
be.
it's a regulation. If any
SEC.
any US traders join any brokerage, that brokerage has to report it to the US government. And that means you will have to send up a lot of tax things, papers, all kinds of stuff they don't want to do. It's not worth it. Unless they're working in the US, and then it's worth it. What about if and that goes for all brokers that don't work in the US. They don't take US students, right? It's just something like that. Just to clarify, we have that one. What about if I took higher amount? Can I get more discount?
Yes,
that is what you're saying. You might even get the whole course, but I wouldn't advise you to do that immediately. I would advise you to probably prove you can trade. Go small, start small. Although you're going to get my course, which is good for me, but I would advise start small, and then if you want to scale it up, you can make that argument with them and say, "Hey,
I assume
remember the 1 second, David. The $300 you're paying is installment towards the course. So if let's say you take it and in 3 months you are successful, and you said, "Hey, I would like to have the 80,000, but can you pay more for my installment?" All of that goes towards the course. You're not losing that installment money. Let's say after 3 months, you make money, but you want to leave them. You want to trade your own account. You can just pay the rest of the money to get a course. You follow me, right? So that's an arrangement you can make with them. That's not a problem. Okay, one person said he's shocked. This is too good. I think a lot of people think it is too good. Can you say what? Let's put it this way.
I know that it's too good. That's why
I personally think it's too good. So what are the
That's why I work for this company.
What questions you guys have on the downside, except that they're only making $50? What other questions? Let's ask concrete questions to get concrete things to make sure that, okay, what is bothering you? Because the same thing with me, I see, well, I could understand the 350 they're getting per it. They're only losing 50, and they're not losing any money, as a matter of fact, right? As David just mentioned.
Yeah, we don't.
They are the liquidity provider. So basically, if all of your traders, so I can explain this how it works. Basically, you get the account and you trade. What they're saying is if you lose, that's it. They're not putting any of your trades anywhere. It's just on paper. But if you start making money, what they're going to do, if they realize you're a winning trader, what they're going to do is they're going to just start putting out your trades onto another liquidity provider. Which means they're going to say, well, okay, they're going to be tracking your track record and see, oh, this guy's big. And to be short, all brokers do that. To make it very short for you, all brokers do that. Now, the only thing I see here that make all of you suspicious is instead of them taking $350 from you, they're taking $300 from you, and they're taking $50 from you, which basically shouldn't be trusted to them. So I am also worried, well, why would they give away back the $300 and only take 50? And I think that is what is bothering everybody.
I think that answer has been that question has been answered in the previous question when somebody was asking you, hey, if it's a good program, can I get something higher? So I know that many of them, even if they start here, they will want this one and this one, because again, it's the best system in the industry of the funded accounts, and in general, it's a system. The platform itself is super fast. It competes with any other platform out there. For those who use the old MetaTrader platform, I really dislike MetaTrader. I prefer a more modern look, but that's again, it's a personal taste. Check this platform out. You can, when you register on the page, you can go ahead right away and get it, or request a demo first, free demo, no commitments. And you can check and see yourself how you like things.
So somebody is asking, is there a reason why I can't keep my profit? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you mean?
Can't keep his profits? What do you mean?
Yeah, he said, is there any reason why I can't keep my profit? What do you mean can't keep your profit? You have to.
Of course, you can keep your profits.
You get 70% of the profit. You can take it out. You can take it out at any time. You can apply it any time to get it. If
Then
I
you can
understand
and you
correct.
can save
No,
it in
no,
the
do I
account. Up
understand
to
that correct? Can they apply at any time they get their profit out? Let's say today I took it and I make $1,000. Can I apply tomorrow?
it's between the 1st and the 10th of the month. So
Oh,
good question.
the first and the 10th.
You
every
make
month.
it, yeah, make request between the 1st and the 10th of every month. Yep.
Another question, as you say, maximum loss is 700. What if my loss run into 800? What you
If your
do-
loss, let me tell you, that's a good question. Usually it doesn't happen in Forex, but let's say take the stock market as an example. If you're holding a stock, okay, you're in a trade on a stock and the stock gets halted, which means the trading stopped. And then as soon as the the pipe releases and somehow you find yourself in a $5,000 loss, okay, the accounts get shut down immediately. Again, I will scroll up to this big bold statement. You're not held responsible for any risk or loss in the account. They are taking basically the entire loss. You're not losing anything.
For that question, in short, they're not losing anything because your trade is not going
100%.
anywhere. Your
Yes.
trade. So if you put a trade on and something spike or something drop,
Yes.
and you lost the whole account, basically what you do on paper, you lost
Exactly.
all the money. They're not putting that anyway. I think on the first account, they're not putting you anywhere until you can prove that you're making money. And if
It
you're
doesn't
making,
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what
like most
account you're
broker,
on.
if you're making money, they'll pass it over to the liquidity provider.
Yeah.
Most brokers have an A and B book. One they keep, one they pass on. Depends on how you're performing. Why can't I just keep 300? Oh, but that very interesting question. Why can't I just pay $300 straight to Anil and $50 to you?
Because it doesn't work like that. It says it's a partnership agreement. That's how the partnership works. Somebody comes, pay us, and then we pay us. That's how it works in general in the industry with all the other companies. You come, you pay us, we are the providers of the services, and then we pay our partners accordingly. It's a normal and standard
So
partnership
I'm just like you. I don't know. I think what he's suspicious of is whether he's going to get access to the 3 months. I can't swear to that. I don't know. That I'm hoping that
that's Anil, but that's on you, Anil. That's not on us. You're giving that. We are just paying you.
Yes. Well, I think what he's saying is whether you would pay for it. I think that's why he's saying why he doesn't pay directly. I assume that I can only assume they'll pay for you.
You need to understand something. I will explain something. We have many big influencers and academies, trading academies, and different schools working with us. With each one, we have different agreements. We have even some of them get more compensation than what we pay Anil. So there are different. We got big affiliation programs, and those who join them, we reward them very nicely. So that's also something.
And there's another question. If in the future you move to a higher account, do they split the profit according to that new account or smaller accounts?
They split. Okay, I understand the question. He wants to know if it generates, for example, 5,000 ETH. If you were to upgrade before taking the money out, if you would apply the new profit split, the answer is yes. If you upgrade your account, then you want to take money out, even the previous profits you've made on the account will be effective on this one.
So take out your money and then upgrade.
Yes.
Take out your money and the 70%. You mean they will get 75% profit?
Yes, they will get 75%.
You'll get more profit. Don't take out the money, move it, and then you'll get 75.
Yes, you can upgrade before.
That's a lot of optimism, guys. Let's work in the basics first. Then we'll go down as optimistic.
I assume some of the traders, not just beginners.
Let's first get you guys to be successful before splitting the profit. But I get your point.
I think there are some more questions here that I see. Do you see the same questions I see from Jeffrey?
Yes, the same questions we're seeing, except for 1 or 2 that come to me direct. But I don't have any more. The rest are this. How do ProWave traders registered for the account and get their $300 back? Do we mention Anil's name? Yes, that's a question.
If they don't need, listen. This, as you can see, this whole page here belongs to ProWave.
So they have to come through this link, right?
Yeah, of course. It's your ProWave's unique link.
Okay, and that so basically, once the 300 is returned he will pay me 300 for the installment, but instead of installment, you're already in the group, so I will just fund it over to you. Basically.
Yep.
Once you take it, you inform me you're in the group with me. You just say, hey, I'm going to take it, but then I'll get back my 300 from there.
You don't even need to inform him because I'm in touch with Anil, and he will know exactly who is joined and who should get the installments and so on and so forth.
Another question, how are the spreads and how much do they widen around market closing? And oh yeah, very good question, by the way, Vic. Do you guys have a lot of widening of the spread during the news events or the close or the opening of the market? And how are the widenings go?
I think it's called floating spreads, no?
Yeah, but
No.
let's say there's a news event. How much do you widen spreads by?
They don't wide spreads. It's flat.
Okay, you don't have a widening of the spread during news event.
No.
So let's say your euro is 1 pip spread. It remains 1 pip spread even during the news.
It should remain 1 pip spread. Yep.
That is sure. That is very, very important for my group. That's super important for my group.
Is there any news event going on right now on any asset?
News
Maybe I
event,
can-
for example, today we have news at 3:30, right? We have news at 3:30. We have Aussie news at 3:30 p.m. my time. In my time, right? Somebody.
Do you want? Let me open a trade. I want to show them.
When the market moves during a news event, is there any slippage? That's what he's asking. How about the slippage? Like how much slippage you can expect? Because we trade the news all the time, so that for us is super important. Well done, Vic. Good question.
I can double check for you if there is any special
please double check
during an event, but there shouldn't be any. And as far as I'm concerned, I've not heard of anyone from our forex traders that has experienced any different spread during a news event. Is it common nowadays for the brokers to trade on?
Somebody's asking a question. Is it required any documents, IDs, passport? I would assume so if you're signing a contract with them.
Of course, just an ID, you know.
How would they pay you your money if you don't give them an ID?
No,
you would have all their documentation in the contract, which means where they're registered, what the company's registered,
exactly.
who's the CEO of the country. If they don't give you all of that, then you can't sign a contract with them. Basically, what you will be doing, if I understand this correctly, and all of you should pay attention to that, is they'll send you a contract, right?
Yeah.
Read the contract carefully, see if there's anything you don't like in it, get back to them, because I have not seen the contract. I don't know what it looks like. Remember, the rest of the work is for you to go and do, right? You to go and Google and decide whether you like them and all of that.
Standard contract, you know.
This is just introduction to it, right?
Exactly.
And again, like I said, before any one of you getting any weird idea of me trying to get you can go and choose Ed. You can take it, not asking for the 3 months thing. They have other promotions. You can go to the other promoters and take it. I have no objection.
No, there are no other promotions.
Let me just get this over to some of them, because there might be people are weird out there. I just want them to know that there's no vested interest of me getting it. If you like what I do, you'll take it anywhere with or without the account. Right? Those who like what I do are already subscribing to the group. A lot of people already this week subscribe to it, right? So if they like what they do, they will subscribe. They'll buy my course if they like what I do without any account, right? Basically. So I'm not really vestedly interested in this. I'm just telling you that it's a good thing for you. I find it very good for you. If you're getting that, then you can get the account. It costs you only $50 in basic if you want, right? If you think you can manage a good account. Anil, will you be able to post the link in Workplace so we can? You'll get it. For my traders, don't worry. We can even discuss it in the group afterwards, so that you guys can, all your other questions can be answered.
No problem.
How about slippage? We already answered that one. How about how other than losing more than $700? Who else can I get my account deactivated? Okay, he's asking what other criteria to deactivate an account besides losing the money. Any other criteria?
No, you can't.
So you're not going to lose it unless you lose $700.
Yep.
I don't think you can check back on them if there's other restriction, but
no other restrictions.
Okay. Can we use hedging more than once on each instrument? For example, €1 buy, €2 sell, then €1 buy. Hedging is allowed on your thing, or does it close the trade once an opposite trade is taken? Can you put the buy and the sell in euro?
Yeah, it does close the trade.
There's no hedging on the platform. The trade gets closed immediately, right?
Yeah, you look.
Let's say you have a buy.
That's a short.
No, let's say you have a buy in euro. Can you then put a sell also?
No, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
So yeah, I just bought, and again, if I put a sell, it will close it. It will not let me hedge.
Okay, so there's no hedging in the platform.
No hedging.
I assume we can trade micros. That is a correct assumption. Can you trade micros? Yes, I think micros trades are on, right? Can they trade micros? Micros.
Which one?
Like 001. I think 0.1. Micros is 0.1, right?
Ah,
0.01. That's a micro trade, right?
value is less than the minimum is 0.01.
Yes. And how much is that in dollar? In dollar worth, I think
That-
that's 10 cents. That's 10 cents, right?
More or less, yeah.
Or $1. Something.
Quantity, yeah.
You're losing 13 cents, right? Great. So it's 10 cents per pip. He's losing 1.3 pips. So it's you can trade micros. Do I trade on the MT4 or platform? This is the platform you're trading. I think this is your platform, right?
Uh-huh.
They have their own platform. Only somebody's asking, can they take the account and trade on an MT5 platform? You have MT5 platform on your brokerage?
No, only this one.
They don't have.
You don't
MT4.
look, this is again a personal opinion, but I think you will be much better off with this one than MT5. But again, this is personal taste, personal opinion, and
Okay.
you will get to experience that yourself.
Okay, another question I had. So the 350 gives us access to your daily webinar for 3 months. Yes. Those of us who are not part of the group. Yeah. If you're not part of the group, you will get 300. They will pay 300 for 3 months for you to have 3 months access to the thing. That's their promotion. They're doing a promotion like that. They do promotion with a lot of other people.
Yeah, there are different promotions.
A lot of other promotion comes my way, but most of them are benefit to me, which means they pay me money. And I think that was the first offer David gave me. Every trader who take the account, we will pay you money. And I said, thank you, not interested. He can tell you that he's here. You'll be honest.
Exactly.
I'm like, thank you, not interested. I don't need the money. I have enough of my own money. I'm making.
But then I said the guy cares about his community, so he
And
should give something to the community.
When we make an agreement that he will pay for the traders for 3 months, which means give you back the money in some form, I was like, okay, well, we could do that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I we'll scale bigger, with bigger packages, maybe pay the whole thing, as I said before. So that's like something that's on the table as well that me and Anil will discuss.
So any other person who wants to give you anything you like, if they're going to pay for your course, pay for a thing for me, I can probably do any promotion, not an account necessarily, any other thing. I don't know what else. I'm open for that, but I'm not, I don't want the personal gain in it. It doesn't, I'm not taking a personal responsibility. Let me be honest. So this is an agreement between you and David Company, not between the two of us. He's only going to say, okay, after you pay, he's going to say, hey, Anil, give this guy 3 months. Here is the money, give him 3 months access. And I'll say, okay, great, no problem. That's all. So the agreement is not between me and you. The agreement is between you and the company for that. So you may want to, if you have any more questions, you can ask them online. I think they have a chat where you can take a chat with somebody in your company, David, and get more answers if they need.
Absolutely. Really go. I highly suggest you really no promotional style. Just leave your details, get your more answers, get the demo, or just get started right away. Up to you.
Somebody said thanks for your consideration. That has always been, that's not so much of a consideration as a policy. Do you know how many crypto people want to pay me to do all kinds of promotion? No, the answer is always no. Do you know how many brokers approach me with all kinds of offer? The answer is always no.
Remember,
I do not want the responsibility of that. I get an IB's offer from so many companies, really big companies, and the answer is no, always. I mean, one guy called me like, why not? Look how much money you can make. I'm like, thank you, not interested. There are many ways to make money. I would choose the way I chose to make money, not the way there is to make money. You can rob a bank and make a lot of money. I'm not choosing to rob a bank, right? So there are many ways to make a lot of money. You don't have to choose all the ways, right? You choose what you feel comfortable with, basically.
True.
So there is no possibility to use stop loss on your platform. Yeah, of course.
Why? Of course there is. Of course there is.
You should use stop loss if you're going to trade with
you have all types of orders.
Stop loss. It's everything like a brokerage. It's everything like a broker platform.
Everything
like
you can trade and you can trade on them. Let me even show you something very nice.
Okay, another question from one of my traders. How long would it take for them to get for the $300 to get to me when they pay you? So the guy is saying, well, if he pays you tomorrow, how long would he take to get back his $300? That's a very fair question. I would ask that question. How long is the process? Like, what is your process of paying back? Like somebody joined tomorrow. When would you start paying for their
that I will discuss that with Anil, but you should be getting the access within 24 hours to Anil's group. So don't worry about that.
So within 24 hours. So I think the money would take a little longer once he's going to commitment for them to get. So Stas, maybe give it. give plus minus 2-3 days.
Guys, by the way, if you're looking right now, look, I can
That
take
should
profit
be the
points.
time. If it doesn't come
and
within 2-3 days, you start calling them and making noise to get your money. Right?
You can see what I'm doing on the chart, setting stop loss and take profit points, all visually trading on the chart. You can see. So now I have a limit order.
Okay, now
when-
another good question. Is there partial closer of a trade? So somebody click a
Of
trade, let's say one
course.
standard. Can they close
Of
partial?
of course, absolutely.
I think those are most technical thing on the platform. You guys should open the demo and try it out. In any case, you should do that before you take any account. Take a demo and see how the platform looks, how you're managing it and all of that, and then make the decision. Even if you're a successful trader, still take a demo and practice on it for a while. Give it a 2-3 day practice. See if there anything you don't like about it, anything you want it to change, any questions you have about it, all of that, and then decide on taking it. Don't rush. This is not a rush process. None of you should rush into it. There's no limit to it. And this is not one of those gimmick where if you don't buy it within 24 hours, you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
Take your time. Don't rush. Right? Just practice. Just go check it up. Go Google it. Do whatever research you want to do. And then make your decision. Right? Any more
Absolutely.
questions before we let David go?
Can a company open an account or only individuals? Yes, a company can open, not really open an account, but a company can pay and then get paid. No problem.
Okay.
I covered
Yeah.
that before. It's a big
Good.
benefit.
Great. So you got it. I think
Any more
that's enough.
questions that you see?
No. The rest of the
All right.
questions you guys please ask David. Let's not keep this too long. It's recording. Let's make sure all your other questions you can send to him. And
That's the,
go.
I reshared the link right here, guys. You are more than welcome to go register. We will be waiting for you on the other side.
Okay,
and-
we'll Nick and Vic, you may want to take a copy of that. We'll put it in the description for those traders who watch it. If any trader watches to the end, you should have come in the very start for those people who are going to be on YouTube. Most of them don't
Yeah.
watch the videos to the end.
Uh-huh.
Right? So if you missed an opportunity there to get more traders from YouTube who might be interested.
So put it on
anyways,
the description.
yeah, we'll put it in the description. I'll tell them. But it should be, if you were in the start, then they would all watch it before they go. Anyways, it's there. If they like it, then it'll be in the description. So okay, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you, David, and
Thank you very
everybody,
much,
thanks for coming.
guys.
Please go take the weekend and watch those videos and share them and like them and make your comments. See all of you. Have a great day. Trade with care. See all of you in New York session. We still have a New York session. David, if you want to come back in the New York session in the morning, that might be better. And in New York, the top of the New York session, you could come for 5 minutes and then leave. I think he left already, right? Okay, I'll send him a message if he wants to come back. Okay, all of you take care. Remember, no rush into this. There is no, there is no rush for you to get it immediately. Okay. I'll just write in this one. So, okay, everybody take care. Bye. Let me close the room.